I'm Jere Ryder, conservator for the Guinness collection here at the Morris Museum. The Guinness collection really covers a period of time from the late 1700s for the most part, through the heyday of automata, 1850 to 1900, and then actually incorporates some of the later pieces like player pianos, Nickelodeons, 1920s. Murtogh Guiness was one of the elders of the Guinness Brewery family. He traveled very widely with his family as a child, and it happened to be his birthday. He was a teenager. They were traveling through Paris, France with his mother. Brought him into a shop called Breguet to pick out a birthday present. He didn't pick out a timepiece that they're internationally known for, but he picked out a small pop-up mechanical singing bird the size of a snuff box you could fit in the palm of your hand. That was sort of the start. One thing led to another, and he ended up with a collection by the time he passed away in 2001 of over 750 objects. This fellow was called the Cuisinier, made by Gustave Vichy, Paris, France, about 1885. And it was made after a famous poem that was called La Mère Michel, the Mother of Michel. It was like a children's fairy tale. The chef of the restaurant fell in love with the owner. He kept making advances to her, the owner, and she kept rejecting him. So one evening he got into the wine bottle a little bit too much and threatened to cook her cat. One of the launching points of automata in the public eye were really in the mid to late 1700s with a gentleman called Jacques Dreux. He was a very well-known watch clockmaker, and he wanted to make these little lifelike figures that would write or draw or actually play a musical instrument. They're absolutely outstanding in their technical, the manufacturing, the design, and their detail. And they actually execute very, very well their missions, you might say. Public was absolutely fascinated with them. They were literally only about 2 feet to 3 foot tall, so they were like miniature mechanical beings that came to life. It was a bit magical, a little bit wizardry was considered as from the public. And to a certain degree, they actually were criticized as being a bit of witchcraft in order to make these things come alive. Automata, there were about a half a dozen manufacturers right in Paris, France, in the 3rd arrondissement in Paris, where arts and crafts people were all located. There was a very large shop in Paris called Au Nain Bleu, and they sold quite a number of automata there. It would have been acquired by people traveling through Europe at the Belle Epoque, doing the grand tour of Europe, to have shipped home or bring home a souvenir of their travels. They would also be sort of under monitored use. They would be brought out on holidays, special occasion, Christmas time, and put around the tree or put around the household to really entertain guests. They were conversation pieces of the day. What we have right next to me here is a musical cat. It has a musical movement, sort of an accessory inside of it that plays a simple melody. But it also feigns at playing the harp. Many of the automata were actually made that way, that they didn't actually play the instrument, but they faked playing it. As opposed to, say, the music boxes of the collection, the mechanical music aspect, those are real musical instruments, some of them not meant to be played by human hand, and they were manufactured just to be the in-home musical entertainment device of the day. If you were at home, you'd have to have someone that played a musical instrument in your home to have in-home entertainment, musical entertainment. If you didn't, music boxes were the vehicle, the way to do it. This is a Mills Violano Virtuoso made in Chicago by the Mills Novelty Company about 1925. And you'd find these, again, ice cream parlors, soda fountains, anywhere where the public could drop a nickel to hear a tune play. This was made about 1901 Encore automatic banjo. This is the Popper's Rex. It's a European dancehall orchestrion. So at the drop of a coin, you'd be able to hear a tune. There are very few public museums that have these types of instruments on view, let alone still large collections even in reserve that you could research or visit in the vaults down below. We're very lucky where we have it. We have a viewable storeroom downstairs that shows the balance of the collection to a certain degree of the Guinness collection. But in Europe you'll find more mechanical music museums and a better recognition of the art and the science of them than you do here in the United States. We're one of the very few public institutions that have a very substantial collection of mechanical music and automata.